Thank you. The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Iowa, Mr. Blum, who's the chairman of the Subcommittee on Agriculture, Energy, and Trade, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Shabbat. Is that correct?
It is correct, and I thank the gentleman for that.
I'm a business person. I'm slow, but I'm trainable.
But you're not like all business people.
Administrator McMahon, good to see you again. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for stopping by our office. I thoroughly enjoyed swapping stories with you about
So did I.
About our startups, the tough times. We both ended up with companies that went public, and I also would, first of all, thank you for that. Secondly, I'd like to salute President Trump on his choice of yourself for this position. I've often thought that it makes a lot of sense to have someone in your position that has signed the fronts of paychecks, that's been there, done that, and we have that person in you. So I salute the President. Congratulations, and thanks for stopping by our office. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
2008, we're well aware of what happened that year. Federal government, the Federal Reserve, we had to bail out the big banks in the financial meltdown crisis. And a lot of taxpayers were upset by that, and rightly so. And rightly so. It seems to them that we privatize profits and socialize losses. And I'm with them. We shouldn't be doing these bailouts. So something I'm always concerned about and ask about is the exposure to taxpayers. And I think of the loan portfolio, guarantee portfolio that the SBA carries. And I want to make sure that that doesn't somehow end up on the taxpayers' backs. I believe, maybe I'll ask you, how large is that portfolio of loan guarantees today?
Well, through our SBIC program, it's about 14 or 15 billion. Through just our loan programs, we're up to about 24 million, 24, 25 million, I think is
Billion?
where we are. Mm-hmm.
Billion, yeah. The number I had was like 33 billion in total. It's not a gotcha question.
About right.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. What's the default rate? Are you aware of what the default rate on those guarantees are? Because by nature, they're a little bit riskier than your average loan.
You know, I'm sorry. I should have that number for you today, but I don't. I just know that we carefully monitor our lenders, and that's why we want to make sure we qualify our lenders so that we don't have that kind of default rate, because we're guaranteeing it, yes. Taxpayers are at risk.
Would the gentleman yield?
Absolutely, I yield.
On the 7A, it's less than 1%.
Thank you.
And I started to say that, but I couldn't remember if that was exactly the right answer or
given
not.
the risky nature, 1%'s fantastic. That's great. That's a low default rate. Very, very good.
The ranking chairman says it's less than 1%. I buy that. Yes, she's right.
Two other quick
argue
questions.
with her either.
No, I'm not going to argue with that at all, because I know she knows her facts.
How are those loan guarantees reviewed? Are they reviewed by the normal bank examiners, the Federal Reserve, and the state examiners that come through? Or is there a special, does the GAO review those? How are those reviewed to make sure we're not sitting today on top of a future bad situation?
Well, I do know from internally at SBA, we look at them on a daily basis. And we constantly are in touch with our lenders to make sure that they are, that they are lending to credit-worthy people. And as I said before, they are the ones who qualify the lenders. In terms of, it's a regular bank, but I would be guessing to tell you how all that oversight goes. But I'd be happy to get back to you with that, because I don't.
These are not gotcha questions.
Yeah, I don't know they're banks, so they're under the regulatory environment as all banks would be. But in terms of the totality of that, I couldn't speak to that today.
And I believe my following statement is true, but you can confirm this, and it's a feather in the cap of the SBA, by the way. I believe that the losses that are incurred on the loans are more than covered by the fees charged on all the loans. So we're actually running a profit. Imagine that. Has to be one of the few agencies in the federal government to run a profit.
We're at zero subsidy, and that's where we want to stay.
Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
And now I only have 45 seconds left. I want to address the 800-pound gorilla in the room that no one has asked you so far, but I will. And some of my constituents want to know this as well, Administrator McMahon, is why did it take John Cena so long to propose marriage to Nikki Bella? And remember, you're under oath.
You'd have to ask him.
Thank you. And with that, I yield back my time.
The gentleman yields back, yeah. and the chairman has no idea, so I'm not going to add anything to that. The gentleman